Rachel. Welcome along to our podcast, Love.Live.Local. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Very good, thank you. Now, you're a local marketer for, you're based in Ottawa, but actually you do marketing for small to medium-sized to big businesses, I suppose, all around the country, don't you?
Pretty much. We just work with anyone that needs us. It fits who we work with best, so we don't really worry about just focusing on the local market. Love working with locals, but obviously working nationally means that we often can take little tidbits from other people doing things around the country and then passing them on to the locals to help them out.
So your business has changed quite a bit over this year in 2020. Who'd have thought? But yeah, it has. It's changed quite a bit for you, hasn't it?
I think, it's very hard. You feel like COVID-19 totally puts the kibosh on a whole lot of plans.
Yeah.
So we go around New Zealand and deliver events and teach marketing for free around New Zealand, and we've had to cancel nearly all of those.
Oh, wow.
But the flip side of that is that, we obviously work in tech in some way with social media and digital marketing, so I'm quite tech savvy, but I had a huge block about webinars and getting my face out there on video and those sort of things. And I think one of the things that's been the most powerful thing with COVID is seeing a whole lot of people step up, and for us that's been webinars. So we've translated a lot of our work now to webinars, and so we're talking to people all around New Zealand and actually in Australia as well, but we're doing it via webinar instead. So.
Yeah, because you love getting in front of people, don't you, and being in a room and feeding off that buzz.
It's such a good buzz.
It's a change of mindset for you, isn't it?
It is, especially the webinar system we use, you can't see faces.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird thing, although one of the things I like about it is I can see everyone's names, and I'm not good with names, so I can talk to people and they come back for repeat webinars, and I can go, hey, I remember you, Mary, how are you going? It's just kind of nice. It's got a kind of a community feel. But yeah, it's been a really interesting thing, and I think for us, I think the biggest thing has been just being able to be in a position where we can help businesses in a time when everyone's really struggling and trying to get their head around things themselves. So it's been good.
So for Identify Marketing, what is the biggest thing that you've seen when dealing with businesses over this time?
Amazing resilience, I think, would probably be the most powerful thing, and a determination and grit just to keep going and just move forward, and being able to be flexible. Like, we've worked with 70-year-olds who've never used social media before, and they're going great guns and just going into it because they're like, this is our chance to learn and do something because we have to. I think that sometimes, adversity makes great creators in us, and I think that's been really awesome. We've had a couple of businesses that we just couldn't get through and change enough or help and modify, and that was quite heartbreaking. But for those ones, we could work through with them and help them kind of work out what their next steps were as business owners, which was great. But I think that'll probably be the biggest thing is New Zealanders are such a resilient group of people, and we have just pushed through, which has been amazing.
Yeah. Did you find a lot of businesses, because certainly people that I talk to, all of a sudden discovered, actually, we don't have a presence online. How are we going to get around this?
Well, part of what we do, we've got a tourism expert, and she... a lot of work she's doing is with people who have always had really flourishing businesses, but because they've come from an international market and they've never had to market themselves because people just rock up and come to things. So I look at it and go, in a couple of years when we've got international tourists coming in, which will happen, of course, these businesses will be really robust because they'll have marketed to New Zealanders, they'll have a really strong social media presence, they'll have worked out their whole way of looking after customers, and everyone's going to benefit from that. So yeah, there's been a huge number of people who've had to move across that digital divide. I can see that it's going to be hugely beneficial, and those that aren't doing it are really going to be left behind this time.
So the e-commerce side of it, like being able to buy stuff online, is that something you've seen explode as well?
So a lot of our retail clients don't like saying this themselves, but I can say it for them.
Yeah.
They actually haven't seen a huge drop in their businesses, and some of them have actually grown. They obviously, during the initial level 4 lockdown, really struggled, but those ones that were already online and they could come out of that, they saw a huge surge, like a Christmas level surge.
Wow.
And so really for a lot of them, they have actually found that it's benefited them. The ones that are struggling, and it's one of the things we've really learnt a lot with our clients, we took a lot of people online and helped them get in there more. The ones that are struggling are the ones that aren't doing that organic marketing really well, which is the social media posts.
Right.
interacting, and people want community, people want to connect, so people need to see your face, they need to hear about the behind the scenes and hear all those stories and hear voices, and a lot of the stuff that you're doing with the podcast, like those sort of things. People want to hear a more dynamic view of you as a business owner, and those that feel that they can do that are really striding ahead, and those that are too scared and that are going, oh, I can't do that, or I don't want to do that, they're the ones that are actually struggling to grow at the moment.
Right, because you didn't used to do a lot of things yourself, did you? You've changed. I mean, I've seen an amazing amount of videos and things from you and posts on LinkedIn especially.
Yeah.
And it's just been great to see you doing all this stuff because you're so good at it. But for a while, you didn't really have I suppose, the belief that you wanted to do it or that you wanted to do it, right? The desire.
I didn't. And I remember other people saying maybe 3 or 4 years ago, oh, Facebook Live, and I'd be like, I'm not doing those.
Yeah.
Video, I used to do it actually in the room we're in here, and I would be at a wall and I'd be yelling out because my microphone would be so far away.
Yeah.
I'd be like shouting in an echoey chamber,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't know how to stand, and I would feel uncomfortable. And I think the thing is, you can be really crap at it for a very long time before you get better, but you just do it. And I think the biggest advice that I saw was from a friend of mine who also has got into video during this time, and he had a huge block, and the thing that someone else said to him was, just do it for 3 or 4 days and just post it without looking at it.
Right.
And you'll realise that no one died. And I have a saying which is, I've never killed a man with my face. Right. Which is it's true. Like, we often have this fear that people are going to hate us or are going to, but, it's not going to cause death.
No.
So it's okay.
It's okay to get out and do it.
It's okay. Yeah, you're not going to kill anybody.
No. That's good to know. We've learned a whole lot of new words this year. Bubble.
And, yes.
And the big one too is that everybody's trotting out, and I get it, but is pivot.
Oh, I really don't like that word. I mean, we have had to help a couple of people pivot, to be honest, where someone's had a business that is completely not workable anymore.
Right.
And we've had to basically take their skills and completely move them into a new direction.
Right.
But most of us just need an adjustment. It's kind of like going to a chiropractor, I guess, and just getting like a little re-straightening of the framework, and I think a lot of it's that a lot of people, it's not so much that you change what you do, it's more who you're selling it to or how you're selling it is what's changed.
Yeah, I think so. So for Identify Marketing, if people want to come to see you, what's the best way to get in contact with you? What services can you offer? Just give us a rundown about what you do.
So a lot of people get confused with us because we call ourselves an agency, because it's hard with marketing to determine what you are, apparently, according to Google. But we're more a consultancy, I guess.
Okay.
And we work mainly with businesses who want to learn how to do it themselves. So we work with you and create your strategy. We train you in how to do everything. And our speciality is showing you ways to get people interested in you. And then we teach you how to look after them once they're interested. So what's called marketing automation, so setting up emails that help nurture and look after people once they've shown an interest, Facebook advertising, those sort of things. So that's our area that we train and help in CRM. So my husband Rod, that's the thing he does. He's very structured and got really good processes in place. You don't want me near a CRM because I won't turn anything on right. I try every now and again, and then I'll say, it's not working. And he's like, have you tried turning the on button on?
Oh, okay. Sounds like me.
Yeah. We've all got areas of strength and weaknesses, right? So that's what we do. And at the moment with businesses, I don't know if you've heard about the Regional Business Fund with the COVID-19 funding.
No.
So there's a funding for businesses that you can use for all sorts of help. So not just marketing, but mental health issues as a business owner, HR, business coaching, accountancy, finances, all those areas. You can actually apply. Around this area would be through a TEAD, and you can get 100% funding to help you. So we've been really fortunate that a lot of our clients have come through that in the last few months. But also I just think it's great that people use it, and we don't get upset if they don't use it with us. We just want you to go and use the money and get the funding. So I
think New Zealanders have really embraced the shop local thing though, haven't they? They really have, especially in the area we're in Rodney. It's just been incredible to hear some of the stories from retailers about people just coming back as soon as the doors are opening and supporting them rather than drive off into the big malls and all those things. The shop local message has got through.
Oh, and I love seeing how busy places are. We live in Manly, and a couple of the people that I should give a shout out to that I think do it really well is Trish and Nige from Two Spoons.
Oh yes, they're so good.
They're
those
so
guys.
good at just connecting and building that community, and then also Manly Bar and Grill.
Yes,
they're so good at just keeping that community message going, and so people just flood back because you want to support people. And I know for us, we're looking at, and when people suggest someone, I'm like, well, can you tell me a local person that I can buy that off? Or I think that's nice. And if that's something that comes out of COVID-19, that we do care about the things that happen locally, and I'm not necessarily doing it on price. I'd rather get something from a local person.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's 4 times the price, I might not do it. But
No.
but you want to actually support the local businesses, and I think that's a real benefit that's come out of COVID-19.
So what you're doing with Identify Marketing, I think, is something that's very important. It's the storytelling and connecting to people so that they can relate more to buying product off you because they know that, well, you're like them. Is that something that you think's important?
Yeah, actually, I can recommend a book for people. It's called Building a Story Brand, I think it's called, by Donald Miller. But it talks about how our customer is the hero and we're just their guide. And so often when I'm working with a client, we talk them through that.
Yeah.
Because actually, we want to talk about how awesome we are, but actually that's not what people buy for. They buy for the need.
Yes.
So I do think that that's really important, and I think that's why some of the local businesses that have done really well, they've realised that even though it is all about them and surviving, it's when you turn the focus on who buys from them and actually cares about them as a community, they're the ones that build a community around them that become loyal.
Oh, that's awesome. So if people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to do it, Rachel?
Well, probably dropping me an email at rachel@identifymarketing.co.nz would probably be the best way.
Yeah.
Because if you do it through Facebook, I'm not the best at replying back. I'm sorry, I know that I just talked about digital stuff, but it's just not the best way. And if you call us on our number, my husband gets it at the office. I'm secretly working at home at the moment, but definitely can flick a note. And even if you want to hear about the funding, I'm happy to send you a link. There's lots of ways to use it, so we can send you that link directly to the funding as opposed to us as well.
Oh, that's really good. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. I think I can hear the police helicopter hovering over the building, so I'm not sure whether they're coming for you and I or we've done something wrong.
It's definitely you. I'm just saying, it's not me.
Oh, you know me so well. Rachel from Identify Marketing, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.